Welcome back to Legends of South Bend. I'm Aaron Taylor. What we do here at Legends of South Bend is let you, the fan, get up close and personal with the greatest players and coaches ever associated with Irish football. And of course, today we have Mr. Lou Holtz, who is the last coach that took Notre Dame to a winning bowl game, and the 9 consecutive bowl games that he took Notre Dame to is still a school record. Coach, one of the things we like to do is allow the fans to be able to ask questions and personally interact with you. So I've got some questions here. Okay. They're going to be pretty good. John Vanny wants to know, what single lesson did you learn during your coaching career prior to Notre Dame that was most useful during your time there?
Boy, I learned so many lessons going back to Woody Hayes when I was an assistant at Ohio State. But I think probably the first lesson I learned was at William and Mary is you have to have a belief and a plan. Now, Father Hesburgh said, you know, I can name you the head coach. I can give you that title. Titles come from above. I cannot name you the leader. And if you're going to be a leader, you better have a vision where you want to take the team, a plan of how to get there, lead by example, and hold people accountable. So I think it's having a plan of what you believe in. See, you have to believe in something so strongly, Aaron, that you're willing to take the pressure if it doesn't work. And particularly in coaching. If I say to you, you step with that left foot with the guy on the inside gap, and I insist you do it, because I believe that. And if you do it that way, you're going to be successful. And if you do it that way and you aren't successful, I'll take pressure for it. But too many people don't want to take responsibility, so they'll say, well, you sort of do it the way you feel, and then I'm out of the mix. And I found this, that in coaching, you don't go into coaching to win games. You go in really to become a way of changing people's lives. You know, you can be successful, Aaron, but when you die, that ends. When your significance, when you help other people be successful, and that lasts a lifetime, that's basically what education is. One last thing, another lesson I learned is discipline. Discipline's what you do for somebody, not what you do to somebody. It's like the two guys got a puppy, and the one guy loved the puppy so much he allowed the puppy to do anything he wanted. The other guy got a puppy, first thing they do, put a choke collar on that sucker, and everybody said, oh, how mean and nasty he is. A year later, the guy takes a choke collar off the dog, and the dog runs the neighborhood, and everybody enjoys it. Guy allowed that dog to do anything he wanted, could never give that dog any freedom because it knew no parameters. And you know, when playing for us, we put a choke collar on you your first year or so. By the time you're juniors and seniors, we had so much confidence. And I think all these lessons, it's hard for me to say one thing, but there are so many things I learned prior to getting to Notre Dame that helped me. But the most important thing was having a faith in the plan that you had, that even though our first year was a losing season, we believed in the plan, we're going to follow it, and we didn't deviate.
Discipline and accountability, Coach. I love it. We have another one from Bob Steinmetz. Can you talk about the importance of senior leadership and how a lack of seniors or leaders can impact a team's performance?
Now, Aaron, when we talk about these things, I feel like these are going to bring back a lot of memories, but you've heard me say over and over and over, if you find a good football team, you find the seniors playing the best football of their career. And it doesn't mean if he's even a third teamer, he's got to be playing better than he ever has before. See, when people are freshmen, they don't want to win. All they want to do is play. Yeah, we weren't very good, but I played. And then sophomores, they want to start. Yeah, we weren't very good, but I started. Juniors want to win. Seniors worried about, am I going to the pros? Everything else is old hat. Get your seniors play the best football of their career. And we did not have many people transfer. I can only think of maybe 1 or 2 players that transferred. We only had 2 or 3 players that ever came out early. Because I believe this, you had an obligation when you got to be a senior to provide the leadership to the younger players. The same as when you were freshmen. There were seniors that took you under the wing. You had a big brother that told you how we do things. Then all of a sudden, if you become a senior, your obligation is to show the younger players and to bring them along in the tradition, how we do things, why we win, etc. And as you remember, your freshman year, first 2 things you did, first meeting we ever had. Number 1, you wrote your mama a letter. Right there. Everybody wrote their mama a letter, right? The second thing we did, I said, you came here to become us. We will not become you. You learn how we do things. When you're a junior, senior, I listen to what your ideas are. I don't care how you did things in high school. This is Notre Dame. This is what we do things. This is how we do it, etc. And there's also a case where freshmen come in and they're very talented. And you were very talented. You played as a freshman. And you worry about, well, are the seniors going to resent you coming in and maybe taking some playing time? But you don't inherit playing time at Notre Dame. You earn that playing time. And I want to tell you, if a freshman come in without the advantage of spring practice and be better than you, then you've wasted your time somewhere along the line. No freshman should come in and take a starting role. However, let's understand this. If they can help us win, and they are willing to do the things and become Notre Dame, we're going to put our arms around you, we're going to hug you, and we're going to support you. So senior leadership is critical.
And it is critical, and that's one of the things that really helped me make the transition was coming in, going under Chris Zorch's wing as a guy that we had a lot of common in our background. And then I remember I went home twice and cried and called my mom, probably wrote her another letter because Chris had beat me up so bad in practice. And I was coming from high school and I had never gotten beat. But now I'm going against this guy who's got arms like legs and legs like people, just ragdolling me. And I remember thinking, man, am I going to be able to play? But I tell you what I did. I watched who Chris was, and I watched who he was as a person, and it was that leadership. He won the Lombardi my freshman year, and I went on to win it my senior year. So it kind of came full circle for us, but senior leadership was important for us as well. Another question. This person wants to know, I heard you once said that the most dominating special teams player you ever coached were Tim Brown, Rocket Ishmael, and Kevin Coretta. Is that true? And by the way, that was Kevin's question.
I tell you what, I'd have to put Tom Galloway in there also. Tim Brown just made things happen, and we recruited Rocket Ishmael saying you'll be another Tim Brown, et cetera. But, you know, special teams players are the ones that genuinely cared about winning. If we found somebody you could trust, was committed and cared, I tried to make sure he got on a special teams, et cetera. And Kevin Coretta walked on. He was from Fort Wayne. And he just had a love of the game. He had an awareness. He had an intelligence. And he was a very, very important special teams player. Later earned a scholarship and made a very dominant contributing factor to our success as an every down player in addition to special teams.
Yeah, there's no question. I still stay in contact with Kevin. He's done some amazing things with his life, and everywhere he goes, he's somebody that finds a way to win and succeed and overachieve the expectations for him. So that's all we're going to have for the questions this time, but stay tuned right here on Legends of South Bend, where we connect you exclusively with the greatest players and coaches ever associated with Irish football.